grab my clubs, hit the green, oh yeah. Dreaming of birdies without a care.
Taking 6 clubs, we're gonna golf pack, I'm gonna call it, through pretty much the western part of Europe. I've never done anything like this before outside of Dublin, but even in Dublin, I enjoyed taking the train rides. I have some of those footage. And it was very memorable. This time I'm taking 2 GoPros, taking less clubs because I didn't need like a 2-iron or things of that nature. I don't need a fairway wood. Something to get me 200 yards is all I need. And at this point, I feel like it makes more sense to try something interesting with this channel and fun. You know, making a little bit of money, so you might as well try to recycle it into something enjoyable like this. So that's the purpose of the channel. I also am meeting up with some other golf influencers, at least in Germany. Hopefully that goes right. We're going to talk about him in just a second. But overall, I'm excited for the experience. Let's walk through the clubs that I'm bringing. I never did what's in your bag, so this is the first time I'm ever doing a what's in your bag travel edition. I think it's important to not bring your full set when you travel, because if you lose it, and it's not enjoyable at all, the experience. You can't justify it. So at least bringing some of my clubs. This one I got the flea market.
Just about 30 days ago, I decided to book a trip to Europe and golf pack my way from the Netherlands down to Madrid. Now, in the original part, it was only going to be 4 countries played, but after reaching out to multiple golf courses and even coordinated with another golf influencer in Germany, I added potentially another 2 countries, making it a total of 6 potential countries as long as everything goes right that we're going to be headed to in the next couple days. This video is going to talk about what's in the bag, what are my expectations on this aggressive trip, and more importantly, have fun along the way. I've been doing a little bit of research. You know, you always want to follow like an Anthony Bourdain type style, and I think there's a lot that I could bring to the table in regards to that. When he got his big break with Kitchen Confidential, and he kind of highlighted I don't want to say the bad side of the kitchen, but things you need to know. And I think with golf, you see all these golf influencers that are in the world, and maybe you need someone outside of that world to get a good picture of what it's like. And
so even on my trip to Ireland, I only brought 7 clubs total. This time I'm bringing 6 clubs total. And for anything 200 yards, I'm thinking a 5-iron is sufficient enough to at least get me there. You got to get something 200 yards on most of these courses. And then anything 200 and over, I'm not going to bring a driver. I'm going to bring this 5 wood. I feel like that's going to be the best bet. That way it gives me more options. Technically, I might only be playing 9 holes and using the driver 4 or 5 times at most. So this gives me more options with a 5 wood, and maybe 20, 30 yards I might lose, which isn't that much of a difference. So you're still getting it maybe 200 and let's say 80 yards. So that gives me 2 options to get at least 200 yards. I feel like that's sufficient enough. And just kind of running the numbers, I need something to get me 200 yards. For about 150 yards, we're gonna go with a 8-iron. Not the greatest 8-iron, it's a Ram, probably a beginner's club. But if I lose it, I'm not really worried about it. I might leave it, if anything. But yeah, I just did a couple shots, easily 150, so this is a good club. You got the 5-iron in between, and then you also have the 5 wood that gets us a little bit further. So let's go ahead and take a peek at some of these wedges. For shots just about 100 yards, we're gonna do a 50 degree, and then for our little chips, a 58. Both of which got at the flea market.
now the trip is going to start off at Rotterdam. I've reached out to every golf course in the neighborhood of this area, and none of them got back to me. Rest assured, down the road, some of these locations did get back to me, but here we're just going to go with the flow. We got a Airbnb in a destination in between a few golf courses, so we'll hopefully get a few in the Netherlands. After that, we'll be taking our talents by train to Brussels, where an actual golf club there was able to answer me, and we went back and forth. They were interested in at least me taking a look at their golf facility. The name of that course is Royal Ambercali Amberlack Golf Course, which is pretty nice, and I'm hoping to get over there. It didn't look like there was a tee time until 3 o'clock, so we're keeping our fingers crossed, but we do have a backup plan near another golf course by my Airbnb. At that point, things are going to get interesting. We're headed down to Luxembourg, where there's a golf facility that doesn't have an actual golf course. There's also a golf resort that I might try to play, but right now that's where we're going to coordinate. Tobis Golf Blog. Now he does some amazing stuff on YouTube and other platforms, so make sure you subscribe to his channel because we're going to be coordinating all. Fingers crossed we'll be playing in Luxembourg and hopefully at a course in Germany. That when I was reaching out to all these courses, that golf course recommended this Toby, who I'm looking forward to meeting and interacting, turning it really into a fun golf style and learning about the area. I'm really excited about this part of the trip. It's all plans good. It looks like it could rain that day, so nonetheless, at least we get to go to the golf center in Luxembourg, hopefully, or at least play some golf in Luxembourg, play some golf in Germany, hopefully 9 holes with Toby, get some good content there, and then get shipped off by a train as we head down to the southern part of France, where I've reached out to every golf course down there. None of them got back to me. So we'll try to play 1 or 2 courses, probably just 1 in France, so we cross off France on our list. And then there was 3 chip and putts in Spain that actually got back to me and sounded pretty excited. They have some new technology with a shot tracer at their driving range. I was just excited that anyone get back to me, so hopefully that turns into a video in itself and we get to learn a little bit about those parts in Spain. And then we're headed out to Madrid. I'm going to try to play 1 course in Madrid. There's one jumping out at me because it has a lot to do with aeronautics and aerospace, and they have planes, and it just seems pretty cool of a golf course. That's going to do it for this fun video. Hopefully, all fingers crossed, it's a fun trip and it leads into multiple other trips